I often don't ask my readers to help me, but on this occasion, I am. I'm begging you to read this essay, and you'll understand a part of the drive that is within me and why I want to return to Myanmar. Um, I've wanted to sit down and interview the lady, Aung San Suu Kyi, um, for, for nearly a quarter of a century. Um, she won the Nobel Prize for Peace in 1991, and I can't think of any other person, any other leader in the entire world that has put her life on the line for her people as much as the lady. Um, I went to Myanmar a couple years ago um, to try to contact her and to interview her. And um, for months prior to going, I I wrote emails, called people, talked to people, trying to get some way of communicating my wishes to her. Um, and as much as I tried, I failed. Um, I had a lovely time in Myanmar. It radically changed my life in the most positive way, and came back quite happy about my life. Um, However, prior to my trip to Myanmar, I danced with death a couple times, and especially on the one dance where I nearly cracked my head open. Um, Dancing with death was for me the most transformative and positive event in my life. Um, it it's not something I'd want to go through again, either prostate cancer or subdural hematoma or traumatic brain injury. But I would not delete either one of those events in my life because it made me come alive. And in many ways, I'm more alive today than I was back in the 60s during the civil rights movement in America. Um, and it, you're on my webpage now. Just look at the top of the bar or the top of the header on the page, and you'll see on the left-hand side articles. Click on articles, and that's just an index page to all the articles. But on the right-hand side of the index page is something called critical issues. Scroll down, and you'll find the last lecture by Randy Posh. Randy Posh had pancreatic cancer when he gave his last lecture. And he was more alive in his last lecture. He died less than a year later. He was more alive in his lecture than anybody that attended that lecture that day. Randy Posh put all the pieces of my life together, and I was able to see the advantage of dancing with death. I would not delete that, either one of those dances. It made me a different person. Um, so, so what am I asking you to do for me? What I need is, and before I went to Myanmar, I said this, I emailed, called, talked to people, tried to get some email address for the lady. And I failed. But Dancing with Death has kind of a strange and a very positive haunting effect upon me, and I'm sure it does to other people who've done the dance. And that haunting experience is, you're only going to go around one time in life. Make this time the best time. Don't delay, don't wait, don't procrastinate, don't put off, act. I've always been driven in my life, always. But when I did the two dances, man, I'm on steroids as far as drivenness is concerned. And so I want to return again and try again. And my problem is that I don't have all the contacts with two people. I wanted to return to Myanmar and interview the lady. But I also want to bring Joan Baez back with me. I was able to interview Min Kunan, who is kind of the Bobby Kennedy, in my opinion, for the people in Myanmar. And when I came back, he invited me to the 88 generation Independence Day luncheon at their headquarters in Yangon. And I kid you not, halfway through the luncheon, Min Kunan leans over and says, do you want to come to a protest rally with me, with the group? And absolutely. And was able to go to a protest rally outside of Shule Pagoda, where in August 8th, 1988, 88, Aung San Suu Kyi spoke, and the military dictatorship came in and killed a couple thousand people because they wanted freedom. So to return to that event in the place where that occurred in another protest rally years later was one of the great experiences that I have had in all the trips I've been to throughout the world. And so I had luncheon with them, and then they went to the protest rally, and all the people I ate lunch with were giving speeches in Burmese. I don't know how to say hello, goodbye, yes or no in that language. So all I could hear as I was taking pictures of the protest rally and kind of absorbing everything I could feel. The only thing that I could hear in English in my head was Joan Baez singing, "We Shall Overcome." That single song was the song of the civil rights movement. And I kid you not, there I was at that protest rally for probably an hour and a half. And the only thing that was going through my head that I could understand was Joan Baez singing. And, in the article, I have a link to another article I wrote about that experience. That was transformative. Randy Posh, who did the Dance with Death in this last lecture, talked about dreaming dreams, but he said, dream big dreams. Don't just sit back and wish for things. Dream them and then act. I want to return to Myanmar, and I would like to have Joan Baez sing at Shule Pagoda, "We Shall Overcome." And I would like to interview the lady. My problem is that I need people who can, you might know somebody who might know somebody else who might know how to get a hold of either Joan Baez or Aung San Suu Kyi. My guess is that nobody that is reading this article for the first time will know how to get a hold of these people directly. I have tried Joan Baez's agent web page over and over and over again, and I failed. But somebody must know how to get a hold of Joan Baez. And if they don't, they might know somebody who might know how. And the same applies to the lady. You might not know how to get a hold of her directly, but you might know somebody by asking them, as I'm asking you, to see if they would know how. And all that I'm asking, and in both cases, both the ladies, I want them both just simply to get a hold of this website's essay about my return to Myanmar. All that I want them to do is to read it and to see how driven I am to accomplish that. And to be absolutely honest with you, me interviewing Aung San Suu Kyi is not going to change the political situation in Myanmar. In a kind of strange way, this is about sitting down with the most important person in the world when it comes to human rights and talking to that person who has literally put her life on the line. It's something that I need to do. So if there's any way that you can, ask one person, ask 10 people, but more that goes out further and further, the more likelihood that both of them will get access to this webpage and this article and this essay in particular. I would rather fail at my attempt than not try and fail. And therefore, this is a plea to you. Please get this website's address and this link to everybody that you know that might have any contact with either Aung San Suu Kyi or Joan Baez. I will appreciate any help that you can give me. Thank you. Take care.